Okay, question number 4. The graph of g of x is x squared. So again, it doesn't matter that it's not f of x, even though that's usually what we start with. Now we're transforming that to create the graph of h of x. So negative x over 4 squared. Which of these describes the transformation? Okay, so the first thing I see, and I'm going to graph this and then we can talk about this. That's on the outside. That means it's the output, and that means it's going to reflect over the x. So that means it's not b, and it is not d. So now I just have to decide, is this going to be horizontal stretch or vertical stretch? And that happens with the scale factor. So if I have x over 4, that is really like saying negative, in parentheses, 1/4 x. Okay? So here's the thing. These are all stretches. So we just got to figure out horizontal, vertical. Since this number is inside the parentheses, we are talking about the input, so we're talking about horizontal. Okay, because that's our input axis, so to speak. That's our x values. So it has to be A. So let's go to Desmos and see if Desmos can help us if we are confused. I know the vertical stretch, horizontal stretch is confusing. It doesn't show up a whole lot. I got to tell you, when I look at the release questions, they're mostly, most of them are like translation, left, right, up or down, or a combination of those. There's not a whole lot of scaling and not a whole lot of vocabulary as far as horizontal stretch. I had seen some that said narrower or wider, but I think those were from tests that were based on the TEKS before we got into whether they were stretches or compressions, okay? All right, so knowing if it's input or output is really the key to do most of the transformations. All right, let's Desmos page and see what happens if we graph this. That might help us out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start by graphing f of x because you call it g of x if you want. I'm just going to call it f of x. So equals x squared. Okay, and then I'm going to add my g of x. So it says g of x is equal to negative, where's my negative sign? Negative, parentheses, x divided by 4, parentheses, nope. Okay, hang on, where's my back? And then I need my arrow, there it is. Okay, squared. Okay, so you see that it flipped over the x-axis very easily and it got wider. So I'm thinking about what is happening to my x. So I'm looking right here at this. What is happening? Is it getting closer to this or further away? Is it stretching out along it, or is it compressing away from it? Well, stretching alongside of it, so horizontal stretch there. Okay, so that's how you can use Desmos to kind of help you out, see what's going on, especially if you weren't sure x over 4 that was a fraction or not. Now you can like visually look at it and check it.